Tin Rosa has prayers. I think it will be in Temple Hall. If
Yeah.
she has, then we can hold it so that we can discuss the meaning of the prayers and have small discussion on that.
Okay, the Guraf. Yes, yeah. Wait, so but yeah, she has the song sheet.
Okay.
So
So maybe I'll
well,
start with prayer.
okay.
Om
Yeah,
Ajnanatimirandasya
this
Jnanachakramilitam
Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri.
Vishtam स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरो वैष्णवांश श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादा सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखाविदंश श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम् हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिका कान्ता राधाकान्ता नमस्तुते तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये पञ्चकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितनां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे मूकं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघायते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दिविताम्। So, first of all, I would like to thank Dirgwendapu for allowing me to speak today in the discussion in the morning.
Thanks.
And very, very special good morning to all of you and good evening from Vrindavan.
Mhm.
And I see we have Bhakti OSS, I think George and Daniel.
Yes.
Krishna, George and Daniel. So I just thought of discussing something from the Gurvastakam prayers. These Vaishnava songs are very powerful and they have very deep spiritual meaning embedded in each word which is written by a pure devotee in our sampradaya, in our lineage. So one such great teacher is Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, who comes in the parampara, who comes in our spiritual master disciplic succession. And he wrote one prayers known as Gurvastakam, and there are 8 stanzas. And it is said that if you recite these 8 stanzas in the early in the morning, in the Brahma Muhurta before the sunrise, then you're destined or you're booking your ticket to go back to Krishna after this lifetime. These powerful these prayers are, and it is the first thing which is which a disciple is being asked by spiritual master to recite these Guru Astaka prayers. So there are a lot of glories to these Guru Astaka prayers, and let us try to understand why these prayers becomes the beginning of one's spiritual life when we practice in the early morning devotional practices. I hope I am audible. I'm not like very feeble and I'm clearly audible to all of you. I'm just want to check.
Yes.
So, so if you see the first thing what a student, a serious student is supposed to be doing according to the instruction of his spiritual master is to recite these 8 prayers in front of the deities. So, and we would explore and understand that these prayers are directly not prayers or glorification of Krishna, they're glorification of his spiritual master. So, the first thing what we are doing in the morning is by while doing special arati and the archana for the Lord Supreme Lord Shri Krishna, we are not glorifying Krishna, we are glorifying our spiritual master Srila Prabhupada. The reason is we ourselves are not pure and we can never reach to Krishna with our own capacity. It is we have connection with Krishna only through Srila Prabhupada, because we have left our position of being in the spiritual world, and something which we have given up, we don't have any right to claim it back. So by ourselves, we cannot go back to Krishna because we have given up the transcendental opulence what we had, in the spiritual world, and we came to this mortal material world. So technically, we cannot claim the right back. We cannot say, okay, now Krishna, take me back, because you have lost it. You have surrendered your spiritual opulence. And now the way to revive that spiritual opulence of being always in Krishna consciousness and being the spiritual world is only through a pure devotee like Srila Prabhupada. So our relationship with Krishna is never direct, is always in relationship with his spiritual master. So that is the reason that while having darshan, the first darshan of the deities, we are reestablishing and redefining and remembering our relationship with the deities is through Srila Prabhupada. So these prayers glorify the spiritual master in the disciplic succession, and for us, these prayers glorifies directly Srila Prabhupada. I just thought of going through each prayers and discussing its meaning. So I'll be doing one verse, I'll be chanting, and if you would like, you can sing along with me, and then we'll be discussing its meaning. I'll be singing the first prayers. Samsara dava nalalidha loka tranaya karunya ghana ghanatvam praptasya kalyana gunanvasya vande guru shri charanarvindam. So this is the first prayer what is being offered in this particular series of verses, known as Guru Astaka. Guru means the spiritual master Guru, and Astaka means 8 prayers. So there are 8 prayers in the glorification of this spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada. And the first word of this particular verse says samsara. Samsara, why the word samsara comes as a first word of these prayers? What was in the mind of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, that he preferred to keep the first word as samsara? The reason is that it is to remind ourselves that we are in this horrible material existence. We're drowning in this material miseries, the pool of material misery, and that is samsara. Samsara dava nala leadha loka. This samsara, this material world, which is not our original position to be in, which is not our real home, is compared to dava nala, is compared to forest fire. And the reason why this material world is compared to forest fire is because there is no immediate cause for forest fire to burn.
Looks like Nitya Gopal's internet got frozen. See what happened? He's in Vrindavan. He's in Sri Vrindavan Dham. Not necessarily the most dependable internet place there. Okay. I'll give it another few moments. All right, let's see if he comes back on. I'm just going to quickly check, see if he sent me an email message about anything that might be happening.
I'm sorry, I got disconnected.
Okay, you're back. Good. We're
Am I
glad you're
audible?
back.
I'm back. I'm sorry.
Great, great. We're with you. We're with you. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. So what I was just sharing is that this material world is compared to the forest fire.
Hmm.
And the reason why this material world is compared to forest fire is there is no reason for our misery as such, or there is no immediate cause. There is ultimate reason that we are in this, it is because of our own karma. But sometime just things happens on their own. Although we don't want, although they are not invited, although old age is not invited, although the pains are not invited, but they just come as a part of our contract we have signed before coming to this material world, that we will have to suffer the material miseries. Samsara dava nala leadha loka. Everybody is engulfed. Leadha means engulfed. Loka means the whole material world is engulfed with constant material fire. The constant material fire is also a fire of the lust, the greed, the enviousness, the pride, all this which always burns in our heart. The root cause of all our miseries, if you were to just do the root cause analysis, what are the root cause of our miseries? You could just define, or you could just trace it back. Either it is because of lust, either it is because of greed, pride, enviousness, madness.
Madness.
They are like seeds of any of these material miseries what we experience, and which are constantly burning in our heart, and without any reason, without somebody's invitation, without anybody's intervention, we can self bomb ourselves with miseries because of these seeds in our heart. Samsara dava nala leadhaloka. Now we are constantly burning in the forest of material fire of the material existence. Then how do we get relieved? How do we get freed from this material existence? So tranaya means the next word which comes tranaya. Tranaya means delivering. How do we deliver ourselves from this material existence? Ourselves, we cannot do that. If we are burning constantly in the forest of material fire, we ourselves cannot rescue us. There has to be a rescue party, there has to be a rescue team. And if you're constantly, if you're like, it's compared to being drowned in the dark well. If you're drowned, if you're in the dark well, by no means we can come out. We can come out only when somebody throws the rope from outside and we catch hold of that rope and the other person pulls us out. So, who is that person who is outside the well who will be pulling us out from this dark well of material existence? And that role is played by Srila Prabhupada. The next verse is Tranaya Karunya Ghana Ghanatvam. So he's delivering us Tranaya, but why is he delivering us? Is he going to get some benefit out of it? Is he doing out of some greed? Is he doing out of some rewards? The specific word which comes here is Tranaya Karunya. Karunya means out of compassion, out of mercy, out of kindness. Seeing us constantly in the pain of material existence, Srila Prabhupada always feels the pain of conditioned living entities. So when he come to this material world, he's sent by personally by Krishna in this world, which he doesn't have to come. He's not bound to come like all of us, but he choose to come from material, from his spiritual world, and come to this material world because he feels the pain of Krishna. Because Krishna is in pain because we are separated from him. And when he sees pain of Krishna, he come to this material world to rescue us. And when he come to this material world, he sees our pain, our pain. He sees how much we are suffering in this material world. And out of that compassion, Tranaya Karunya Ghana Ghanatvam, he showers his mercy in the form of, if you see the forest fire, if you need to extinguish the forest fire, you cannot just have buckets of water and try to extinguish forest fire. There has to be like showers of rain. If there is a showers of rain, then the forest fire can be extinguished much more easily rather than trying to throw some buckets of water on the forest fire. Similarly, the mercy of the spiritual master is compared to the like a forest, like a rain. Ghana ghanatvam. Samsara dava nalalidhaloka tranaya karunya compassionately, a rain, like a rain cloud. He's showering his mercy upon us. So how is he able to shower that mercy? Now that is the next question. So how does the cloud, how the clouds are able to shower water, shower rains on the forest fire? It's because the rain cloud has taken the water from the ocean. So from the ocean, you have the rain clouds, and rain clouds, because of the air, goes to the right position and showers rain. But again, if there were not to be no sun, there'll be no evaporation from the forest, from the ocean. If there were to be no sun, there'll be no evaporation from the ocean. There'll be no showers. There'll be no clouds. So, what is this powerful sun-like element here in the whole picture, in the whole metaphor? The powerful sun-like strong power is the pure devotional attitude of a pure devotee. The pure devotional service, what a pure devotee renders, he becomes like a sun. His devotion becomes like a sunshine, very strong sunshine. And whenever a pure devotees, Srila Prabhupada, who's a pure devotee, have that have that powerful sun-like devotional exuberating from his personality, he attracts Krishna's mercy and he showers it on all of us. So that is a very, very special prayers and a reminder to all of us that we are able to experience any amount of relief from this material existence is only because of Srila Prabhupada. Is only because of Srila Prabhupada's pure devotional service towards Krishna, which empowers him that he can attract as much as mercy he wants from the ocean of Krishna and he can deliver to all of us. And very, very special thing about this is sometimes we may lose track that what happens when we come to Krishna consciousness, we're too much in gross material pain. We come to Krishna consciousness, a basic cleansing happens, we start experiencing some sort of a goodness. And when we experience some sort of a goodness, some sort of a relief from the material pain, we start losing the value of what reward, of what gift I have received in the form of Krishna consciousness. We start taking it for granted. We don't value our chanting. Especially, I don't value my chanting. I don't value how much I've been blessed. I don't value how much knowledge has been given to me. Sometime I become ungrateful. I start looking, oh, I don't have this, I don't have that, and I just go into that equation of lack. So now, if I were to think, if Srila Prabhupada would have not come in my life, if I would have not started chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, if I would have not read Prabhupada books, where would I be today? What would I be doing? What would be my consciousness like? Or what I would be pursuing in my life? Or what my life would have become? How much sinful activity I would have done? How much depressed I would be if Srila Prabhupada's mercy would have not entered into my life because of his compassion? So when I contemplate, or when we contemplate on all of these questions, we can realize that how much we have been blessed by the compassion, by the compassion of Srila Prabhupada. Tranaya, deliverance of the, when out of compassion only Srila Prabhupada is giving his celestial grace to all of us. And when he, out of compassion, he gives his celestial grace to all of us, we can feel that coolness in our heart. The constant fire will make you feel burned, right, in the heart. The coolness of the spiritual life comes because of the celestial grace of Srila Prabhupada compassion. And that is a one very interesting. It starts from there. The whole spiritual life starts by appreciating Srila Prabhupada's mercy on all of us. So in a way, there's a song, Vaishnava song, which says, that my whole existence, my whole spiritual existence is made up of Srila Prabhupada mercy. Drop by drop, small mercy by small mercy, I've been accumulating mercy of Srila Prabhupada by doing every service to Srila Prabhupada, by doing every amount of chanting, whatever chanting I do every day, 16 round, 8 round, 4 rounds. So every day I've been filling my heart with Krishna's mercy, with Srila Prabhupada's mercy. And when after a couple of years, couple of decades, we experience that upliftment, the building of my spiritual life is being made by the bricks of Srila Prabhupada mercy. So that is how the first verse goes. Let us move to the next verse. That is what we experience, and the whole next three verses would be that how it happens. The next verse is Mahaprabhu Kirtan Nitya Gita Vadritya Madhyan Manasorasena रोमाञ्चकं पाशुतरङ्गभाजौ वन्दे गुरो श्रीचरणारविन्दम्. The first form of mercy, what Srila Prabhupada on all of us is, and that is a special mission what Srila Prabhupada has in his heart is to make us chant Mahaprabhu Kirtan. The Kirtan what Mahaprabhu sings, that is Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So how Srila Prabhupada is giving mercy to me is, we talked about the mercy, right? The compassionate celestial grace which provide coolness to our heart. That coolness in our heart comes because of the chanting of the holy name. Mahaprabhu Kirtan, the Kirtan of the chanting of Gauranga Mahaprabhu's name. That is in the form of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So Mahaprabhu, Kirtan, three things: Kirtan, Nritya, and Gita. By singing, by chanting, and by dancing in the holy name. So when we chant holy name of Krishna, when we dance in the holy name, when the holy name is being chanted, when we sing the holy name of Krishna, then what is happening is Mahaprabhu Kirtan Gita, and Mahaprabhu himself explained the effect of chanting of holy name. Again, there is another Astaka, 8 prayers offered by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the form of 6 Shastakam. And the first verse says, Cheto Darpana Marjanam Bhava Maha Davagni Nirvapanam Shreya Keirava Chandrika Vitarnam. The burning of the heart, what we were experiencing in our heart in the first verse, what Srila Prabhupada delivers us from, the same thing is being talked about in this first stanza of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Shastakam. So, Cheto Darpana Marjanam Bhava Maha Davagni. The word which is used here is Dava Agni. Davanala, Dava Agni, same thing. Dava Agni means the forest fire, Dava Agni, and Davanala. Anala and Agni, they are synonyms to each other. The burning of the heart, which Srila Prabhupada delivers us from, how does he do that? What is the science behind it? The Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explains the effect of chanting. The second effect of chanting is Bhava Maha Davagni Nirvapanam, the extinguishment of the forest, the burning of my heart from all this material disease of lust, greed, pride, enviousness, and all of that. The next step is what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explains Bhava Maha Davagni Nirvapanam Shreya Kairava Chandrika Vitarnam. Chandrika means Prabhu was explaining the meaning of Vrindavan Chandra. Chandrika means moon, moonshine. So when we always remain in the hot sun, so now it's almost 42 degrees Celsius, almost 102 is the temperature outside in Vrindavan. So when you go out, even during 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, it's like burning hot. You cannot be in the sunshine for more than 5 to 10 minutes. And as soon as you walk for 5 to 10 minutes, so your body starts feeling very hot. And what do you want this point of time? And as soon as you enter into some office, nice air conditioned, nicely air conditioned office. How do you explain? Some coolness here, isn't it? So similarly, the constantly we have been burning in the fire of material existence, And when we start doing chanting, when we start doing Hari Kirtan, when we start dancing in the holy name of Krishna, when we start doing what Srila Prabhupada asked us to do, then we create air conditioned atmosphere in our heart. It's like switching on the air condition. When we switch off the air condition, what happens? We start feeling that kind of coolness. And the coolness, what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu compared it to be as, like thousands and thousands of moon are rising together and they're reflecting their sunshine on your heart. Shreya Kairava Chandrika Vitarnam. Chandrika means the moon, the moonshine is spreading the moonshine. So again, coming back to the main stanza what we were discussing, taking reference from the Sistastaka prayers. So Mahaprabhu Kirtan Nitya Gita Vadritya Madhyan Manaso Rasena. Srila Prabhupada is always chanting Krishna's name and always relishing chanting Krishna's name and also inspiring us to chant Krishna's name. So that is a key of unlocking our spiritual life or removing our material existence. It is mentioned here in this verse. Mahaprabhu Kirtan Nitya Gita Vadritya. Vadritya means the musical instruments, different musical harmonium, kartal, mridanga, Vadritya, Madhyan, Manaso Rasena. When my mind, Manaso means mind, Rasa, start relishing the kirtan, the dancing, and the chanting. Kirtan Rasa. When we start experiencing Kirtan Rasa, then only we can give up Jada Rasa, which is the material taste. And only when we give up material taste, we can come out of this material burning fire. Because desires, Krishna explains in the Bhagavad Gita, Ichcha moha samuttena dvandva mohena bharata. My dear Arjuna, you came to this material world because of two things, your desire and your illusion. Ichcha moha. Ichcha means desire and moha means illusion. Illusion created by material desires. So we came to this material world and burning in this material world only because of the material desires. And material desires means independent of Krishna, independence from Krishna. That is material desires. Any desire which is independent of Krishna, that is material desires. And material desires are the root cause of the material existence because we want to taste how it feels like to be independent. The taste. The taste of independence is the root cause of our material existence. And again, it burns us into the constant material fire. So here in this verse, it is said this Manuso Rasena Kirtan Nitya Gita. When we start relishing Krishna's chanting of Krishna's name, when we start relishing the taste of spiritual life, then only the real extinguishment of the constant burning fire happens in our heart. Kirtan Rasa. So now, interestingly, in the next verse, we'll explain even more deeper how we can how me in my initial spiritual life, wherein I don't have any taste for spiritual life, how can me as a neophyte or novice person can start relishing Kirtan Rasa? Next verse, next line says, Mahaprabhu Kirtan Nitya Gita Vadritya Madhyan Manuso Rasena Romancha Kampa Shutaranga Bhajo. At the highest level, spiritual master, when they chant Krishna's name and they dance in Krishna's kirtan, they experience three things. Romancha. Romancha means the trembling, the ecstasy. Romancha kampa, standing of hair ends. Romancha kampa sutaranga. Sutaranga means like they cry like a torrential of rains. Romancha Kampasutaranga Bhajo Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam. So we are paying obeisances to such a spiritual master who's always chanting Krishna's name and who's experiencing all different types of spiritual, transcendental, ecstatic waves of Krishna's love. And that is what he wants us to do. He wants us to chant. That's the first form of mercy he wants to give us. So now, although we ourselves may not have any taste for chanting, but by knowing that when I chant Krishna's name, it is giving pleasure to Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada is becoming happy by me chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. What is his benefit? Because his purpose is getting fulfilled. What is his purpose? To deliver us from this material existence. Tranaya karunya ghana ghana. His primary service to Krishna is to deliver us from the material existence out of his compassion, out of his love for Krishna. And when he sees that we, as a conditioned soul, although we do not have any taste for his spiritual life, although we do not have any kirtan rasa, although we don't have any bhakti rasa, still we can visualize, we can feel, we can experience Srila Prabhupada's love for Krishna, Srila Prabhupada's pleasure. That much we can do. I can, if I have small love for Srila Prabhupada, I can see as how much this activity is giving pleasure to Prabhupada. I may not have any taste for it. But when I start doing this one simple thing, then it is like a training of a mind of moving from independent taste to dependent taste. Oh, Srila Prabhupada likes it. Oh, Srila Prabhupada will be happy if I chant my rounds. Oh, Srila Prabhupada will be happy if I read his book. Oh, Srila Prabhupada will be happy if I hear his classes. Oh, Srila Prabhupada will be happy if I distribute his books. Disciple's pleasure depends on the Guru's pleasure. So my pleasure as a disciple is dependent on if Srila Prabhupada is happy or not. And when all my activity are guided, especially the chanting of the holy name, although I may not have any taste for chanting of holy name, but my chanting 16 round is giving pleasure to Srila Prabhupada. I'm happy with that pleasure. I may not be getting direct pleasure from chanting of Krishna's name like Prabhupada is getting. Vadritya Madan Manusorasena, Romancha Kampa Shutranga. I may not be getting ecstatic. I may not be having torrential rains coming from my eyes. I may not be having that ecstatic waves of spiritual blissful life. I may not be having all of that. But by knowing Prabhupada is happy by me chanting Krishna's name, that is a very important and powerful impetus for each and every sincere follower of Srila Prabhupada. So that is our second verse. The primary gist from this verse is how to move from independent rasa to the kirtan rasa, and that is by feeling the pleasure of Srila Prabhupada when we finish our 16 round. Why not 15 round? Why not 13 round? When I finish 16 round, it is giving pleasure to Srila Prabhupada. That is my standard of happiness in the beginning. And slowly, slowly, by Srila Prabhupada's mercy, I would be also moving to the direct pleasure when my heart will become purified. Let us move to the third verse. It says, Shri Vigrahara Dhana Nityanana Shingaratan Mandira Yuktasya Bhaktam Shaniyunjatopi Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam. The next verse, it takes us to the next level of devotional service. He himself, what he does, basically, these verses are describing Srila Prabhupada's activities. He's delivering all of us out of compassion. He's always immersed in chanting Krishna's name. He's always, now the third verse says, he's always engaged in Sri Vigra Aradhana. Sri Vigra means the deities, Radha Krishna deities, Gaurnitai deities, Radha Krishna pictures, any form of Krishna's deities, pictures, painting, we worship. Shri Vigra, the Shri Vigra means the Vigraha of the Lord. Aradhana means a devotional service. When we express our devotion towards the deities in the form of cooking for them, in the form of performing arti for them, in the form of bathing them, in the form of praying to them, do all of that. Shri Vigra Aradhana Nityanana. It's not that only one day or one time spiritual master is engaged in all of these activities, but Nitya means always, and Nana means in a different ways, always differently, like different dresses for the deities, different food stuff preparation for the deities, different types of prayers we offer to the deities, different way we express our devotion to the Lord. So Sri Vigrah Aradhana means worshipping, Nityanana, and the next line explains what are all of that. Sri Vigrahara Dhananityana Shringara. Shringara means decorating the deities. Shringara Tan Mandir Marjanado, and cleansing the temple of the Lord. So this is a very important thing, that Marjana means cleansing, and that again comes back to the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Sistastakam, because they both are kind of interconnected. So Cheto Darpana Marjanam. The first teaching of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Cheto Darpana Marjanam. Marjanam means cleansing. The cleansing of my consciousness, the cleansing of the my own heart. So in many time we see how we keep defining ourselves from the broken image of my personality. So when we, our personality, part of my personality, part of myself, maybe it may be the daughter self, may it be the son self, may it be the dad self or the mom self or whatever self part of me feels broken. Oh, I am broken as a dad, I am broken as a person, I am broken as a student, I am broken as a daughter. When we start defining ourselves as the part of broken reflection. So if your mirror gets broken, and when you see yourself in the image, when in your reflected image in the mirror, so even the mirror image is broken. If you think, oh, I am this broken image, but I am not that broken image. I might have been, my image is getting broken, but I am as a person as it is. So the true liberation happens when we stop defining ourselves as a part of broken image, broken reflection. So that process, how do we move from disidentifying myself from this broken image? Broken image could be of any type, as I just shared. So that process is known as Cheto Darpana Marjana. So redefining myself can happen only when I fix the mirror, or when I cleanse the mirror in which my image is looking dirty. Sometimes mirror is dirty and my image may become dirty. Sometimes the mirror is distorted and my image may become distorted. But me as a person is not distorted. Me as a person is not dirty. So how do I see myself as I am? It is by cleansing the mirror. It is by fixing the mirror. And that process is known as Cheto Darpana Majanam, cleansing of the heart. So by chanting holy name of Krishna, and especially in this verse, what is coming is Cheto Darpana, Shri Vigrahara Dhana Nityanana Shingara Tan Mandira Marjanado. When we do the cleansing of the temple, especially cleansing of the temple, it expedites the cleansing of heart. Srila Prabhupada says, to the degree you're decorating the deities, to that degree Krishna is decorating your heart with the pure devotional attitude and those realizations. So when we cleanse the temple of the Lord, it is as good as I'm cleansing my heart. Krishna is cleansing my heart from within as I'm cleansing Krishna's temple. So Shri Vigrahara Dhananityana Shringara, by decorating, Tan Mandir Majanado. And the next what he does is Yuktasya Bhaktamscha Niyunjito api. He also engages his followers, his disciples in all of these activities. It is the second way by which Srila Prabhupada is showering his grace. Because by ourselves, we cannot reach out to the pure devotional standard of Krishna's worship. Only gopis can do that. But Srila Prabhupada takes our worship and give it to Krishna. And when he take our worship and give it to Krishna, he gives us the benefit of what he is receiving from Krishna. What is he taking from us? He is taking our impure devotional service, which is full of contamination, because we are contaminated, right? So because we are contaminated and Prabhupada is taking service from us, but because of his power, he is delivering pure devotional service to Krishna. And what rewards he gets from Krishna is in exchange with the pure devotional service what he gave to Krishna, and then he will give us those rewards, what he's receiving from Krishna. It's like he's taking stone, he's converting them into diamond, and then he's selling the diamond. So whatever money comes from diamond sales, he's giving it as at the cost of stone. So that is the power of Srila Prabhupada. He's taking stone from us and giving the price of diamond. So that's what, when we do service to Krishna independently by my own way, like giving stone to Krishna, so Krishna also will reciprocate accordingly. Ye thama prapadante, principle of reciprocity. But when we give it through Srila Prabhupada, we'll get the price of a diamond. So Shri Vigrahara Dhanantyana Shringar Tan Mandir Majanata Yuktasya Bhaktam Cha Niyanjatopi. We offer our obeisances to such a spiritual master. So we discussed two ways how Srila Prabhupada removes the contamination. Is one by chanting Krishna's name, and second by engaging in the deity worship in any format, maybe cooking for the deities, cleansing the temple, worshipping the deities in different ways, Nityanana, every day in different ways. The fourth verse is चतुर्विधा श्री भगवत प्रसादो स्वादन्न तृप्तान् हरिभक्त संघान् कृत्वैव तृप्तिं भजता सदैव वन्दे गुरो श्री चरणारविन्दम्. This is the favorite verse of so many devotees for a reason. It says Chaturvidha Shri Bhagavad Prasado Swadana Triptan Hari Bhakta Sangha. So now we are getting engaged in Krishna's worship. Prabhupada is inspiring us to take up some different ways in worshipping Krishna. Okay, what is my benefit? What am I getting out of it? Maybe going back to Godhead, I don't know after how many lifetimes, maybe after this lifetime, but it's like long way to go there. What is my immediate gratification in that? So Prabhupada knows that what I should give you immediately, and that what he gives is four types of delicious prasada. Chaturvidha, four types. Four types in the sense that there are four ways we consume prasadam. One is by drinking, one is by licking, one is by eating, one is by swallowing. In four types, right? Chaturvidha, four types. Shri Bhagavad Prasado. Bhagavad Prasada means the prasad, the blessings, what we received by worshipping deities. Swadanna Hari Bhakta Sangam. When we all relish Krishna Prasadam and relish each other's relishment, we feel so fulfilled, so content. It gives immense amount of pleasure to Srila Prabhupada. So how this transcendental system of purification works is even by the immediate intense gratification of enjoying four types of prasadam gives pleasure to Prabhupada. And that is how when he first came to US in 1965, what he was doing is these three things. He's chanting Krishna's name in Thompson Square Park, is conducting classes, and he's also by doing his own deity worship. That time he had a small altar there, and also by distributing Krishna Prasadam. There are so many pastimes where one devotee was sharing that in those earlier times, 1966, when the storefront got inaugurated, 26 Avenue in Manhattan, that time Prabhupada didn't have much money for distribution of prasadam. Then what he used to do is he used to purchase watermelon. He used to cut out the fruit of watermelon, offer it to Krishna, and give it to all the followers, whoever would come. And the leftover peel of watermelon, he would cut it and he would cook the vegetables out of it for himself. In such a hardship, if it was to be for me that I have to eat the peel of the watermelon, I cannot do that. If I'm ready to do that, means I'm relishing something higher. And why Srila Prabhupada is able to do it for multiple reasons. And one of the reason is that he's relishing the highest happiness of distributing Krishna Prasad. Chaturvidha Shri Bhagavad Prasado Swadanna Triptan Hari Bhakta Sangam Kritvaiva Triptim Bhajita Sadaiva. Kritvaiva, after doing this, after relishing Prasadam, Triptim. Tripti means, is a Sanskrit word Triptim. Tripti means satisfaction. What do we feel after eating prasadam? I feel satisfied. And I know Dhirgondha will also feel completely satisfied. So Kritvaiva Triptim. What happens once I become satisfied? Again the loop starts. What was it? How did we start? Mahaprabhu Kirtan. That's how the Srila Prabhupada start giving the mercy. And what is the last verse? Last word of this phrase? Kritvaitim bhajita sadaiva. Bhajana means always chanting Krishna's name. So like a loop, positive loop now. We chant Krishna's name and we receive Prabhupada mercy by giving him relishment. Then we start engaging in deity worship, and then we take Krishna Prasadam, partake in Krishna Prasadam, and then after becoming satisfied, we restart the process. Again, start chanting. Like a positive spiritual loop wherein I just keep becoming more and more purified. So if you see, this makes the first half of the first four verses. The first verse explains what Srila Prabhupada is doing to all of us. He's showering his celestial grace out of his compassion to bring that coolness in our heart. How? By making us chant or inspiring us to chant Krishna's holy name, by engaging in different format of deity worships, and by making us distributing Krishna Prasad. At least I can express my gratefulness towards Srila Prabhupada for these three things every day. So this is a fundamental prayer. I'm appreciating, in a mood of appreciation, I'm singing the glories of his spiritual master. Oh, now he's the one because of I'm chanting Krishna's name. If it was not to be the holy name, I don't know where I would be and what would my situation would be. I'm so grateful. I'm very appreciative that I have this special mercy of Srila Prabhupada that I'm able to chant Krishna's name. Every day you chant Krishna's name, it could be like a regular routine. Sometimes it becomes regular routine for all of us. Oh, I have to chant my rounds. Fine, I've been chanting last 10 years, 5 years, 15 years, 20 years. I have to chant one more day. But this is a very, very, very rare and special occasion is happening for you as a spirit soul. The reason is, in all the different lifetimes I have lived in this material world, I have been eating, I have been sleeping, I have been defending, I have been mating. I have been doing all these four things over and over in every lifetime. But not in every lifetime we get to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And not in every time this Hare Krishna Mahamantra is even available. Only in a one day of Brahma, which is about 300 trillion years, only for that spatial 10,000 years, that is golden age, we can chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. It looks huge. Oh, 10,000 years. For 10,000 years, this holy name is to be chanted and be glorified and devotee go back to it. But if you see the quantum, how much minuscule, how much micro, the 10,000 becomes when we see the magnitude of 311 trillion years. How small that is. Only 10,000 years. And me, as a person, as a soul, has taken birth in this particular golden age, and now I am able to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So, although it may become like a routine, but that is a very, very rare and very special occurrence is happening in my own journey as a soul in this material world. So, how much appreciative I should be that Srila Prabhupada has inspired me to chant my chanting one more day. So let us move to the fifth verse. If we have, I think we are already running out of time. I'm not sure how much time we have from here onwards.
Well, I mean, class and discussion generally goes till about 9:15, 9:30. So a class and discussion, like another 15, 30 minutes would be standard.
We'll just try to quickly wrap up in the next 15 to 20 minutes. So next verse is Shri Radhika Madhavayor Para Madhurya Leela Gunarupa Namna Pratikshana धनुलोलुपस्य वन्दे गुरो श्रीचरणारविन्दम्. So the first verses were kind of exemplifying Srila Prabhupada's activities in this material world. The next four verses more or less defines his real position in the spiritual world and what is his own spiritual nature looks like. The second part of this stanzas begins as Shri Radhika Madhavayor Para Madhurya Leela Guna Rupa Nam Nam. So Shri Radhika Madhav, Radha Krishna, Shri Radhika Madhavayor Para. So it's little more sophisticated philosophy in a sense, but the Radha Krishna pastimes are transcendentally happening every moment in a varieties of ways. Shri Radhika Madhavayor Para. Apara means innumerable ways. Apara means innumerable ways. Shri Radhika Madhavayor Para. And so, what kind of pastimes Radha Krishna are doing? Uh, every moment innumerably. Madhurya Leela Guna Rupa Nam Nam. So, the Madhurya Leela is the highest form of highest form of pastimes what happens between Radha and Krishna, and that is how the land of Vrindavan becomes very special because it is a land of love. It is a land of love where Krishna expressed his highest amount of love towards the gopis, towards the Radharani, and these pastimes happened at that particular land for just 5,000 years back. 5,000 years back. I was I'm saying just 5,000 years back at the scale of 311 trillion years. It just happened. Just Krishna wounded up his pastimes. He went back to his spiritual world, and now, so when we relish, when we know from the shastras that that is the highest form of worship happens to Krishna is in the mode of conjugal relationships, Madhurya Leela. There are five type of rasas, type of taste what devotee can relish when the service is rendered to Krishna. It starts with basic neutral taste. It grows to servitude taste. It develops into the motherly taste, the friendly relationship. It becomes more intense as a parental affection, and it becomes highest as conjugal affairs. Above includes all below them. So conjugal includes all three or four of them. So now these are innumerable pastimes are happening of Radha and Krishna. So it has three aspects to it. Three aspects of the pastimes of Radha Krishna. It's Guna, Leela, and Nam. Shri Radhika Madhavayor Para Madhurya Leela Guna. The what qualities is what kind of qualities Krishna is expressing through these pastimes. Guna means qualities, transcendental spiritual qualities. For example, you have milk. Milk has its quality. It has like superfood. If you drink cow's milk, especially superfood for your brain. So now, if you can take the milk and you can convert that milk into different forms, like cheese, you can convert it into sour cream. You can make uh, like a Indian cheese out of it. You can make maybe curds out of it. You can make like condensed milk out of it. You can have different taste coming from same milk. Each is unique, and each can give you different types of nourishment. Similarly, although Radha Krishna pastimes are like the superfood or super taste, in that also there are a lot of varieties, guna, qualities. So distinguishing the taste in Radha Krishna pastime, guna, leela, the pastime itself, what is happening, how the arrangement is being made, and if you see, just to touch upon the taste of it, the Vrinda Devi Tulsi, whom we worship as Tulsi plant, she is said to be the choreographer in Radha Krishna pastimes. So she is the one who choreographs how the wind should flow, what kind of, it should be a sunset or sunrise, what kind of plant should be around, who should be there in the pastimes, the whole situation, what should be the temperature, what should be the wind speed, everything is choreographed by Tulsi, by Vrinda Devi. She's a choreographer. And she's the one who is creating all of that. And that's how the Vrindavan becomes the land of Vrinda, the land of the forest of Tulsi. Vrinda is Tulsi. So Madhurya Leela and Nam Nam. Nam Nam means by chanting, by hearing those Leela, by chanting Krishna's name, by chanting Radha Krishna's name. So Shri Radhika Madhvayor Para Madhure Leela Guna Rupa Namnam. Pratikshana Swadana Lolupasya. That is a very beautiful, very, very cracking statement here. Pratikshana. Pratikshana means, shan means movement. Every movement. Pratikshana Swadana. Swadana means taste. Is relishing. What is he relishing? He is relishing Guna, Rupa, and Nam of Madhuri Leela, of Radha Krishna pastimes. Pratikshana Swadana. And it's not like, okay, I've tasted Radha Krishna pastimes enough now, and every moment, I don't need it anymore. No. Like Lolupasya. Lolupasya means out of greediness. I'm still more greedy to hear Krishna Radha Krishna pastimes. I'm even more greedy to see Radha Krishna pastimes. I'm even more greedy to chant about Radha Krishna pastimes. So Srila Prabhupada, in his mind, is every moment he's relishing Radha Krishna pastimes. That is the highest level of worship a devotee can do, is by remembering, glorifying, chanting, witnessing Radha Krishna pastime. And that is what Srila Prabhupada is doing every moment. And we as a disciple of Srila Prabhupada is relishing that, oh, such a great my spiritual master is, that every moment he is relishing Radha Krishna pastimes. And that can no ordinary person do it. Any ordinary person who is conditioned by three modes of material nature, he can always think the conjugal pastime of this material world, the lusty pastimes, his own, somebody else's. When we have the taste, still have the taste of hearing lusty pastimes about myself, about somebody else, and I'm still conditioned by this material world. In this material world, how can I take up the position of being of serving as a highest authority in the spiritual institution, as a spiritual master, who is supposed to be relishing Radha Krishna pastime every moment with greediness? It's like a taste, like a test. Who can be the spiritual master? Only Srila Prabhupada is doing it and has done it. So let us move to the next verse. निकुञ्जयूनोरतिकेलिसेध्यैयायालिभिर्योक्तिरपेक्षणीया तत्रातिदाक्षादतिवल्लभस्य वन्दे गुरो श्रीचरणारविन्दम्. So the sixth verse says, the fifth verse says he's always meditating on Radha Krishna pastimes. He's always thinking about Radha Krishna pastimes. And so the next verse says, how is he thinking Radha Krishna pastimes? How am I relishing? How is Srila Prabhupada relishing Radha Krishna pastimes? Is he relishing Radha Krishna pastimes sitting and meditating in the corner of a room and always just and doing nothing? No, it said, Nikunj yuno ratikeli siddhai ya yali bhir yukti rapekshaniya. That how the Radha Krishna pastimes are being performed, they have been performed especially in the forest. Nikunj yuno. Nikunj means forest. Yuno means couple, Radha Krishna. Nikunj yuno rati keli siddhai. Rati means taste. Rati means taste. Rati keli siddhai. The perfection taste. So, in the forest of Vrindavan, in the Kadamba forest, by expertise of the girlfriends of Srimati Radharani, that is in the next verse, Nikunja Yuno Rati Kelis, the Ya Yali Bhir Yukti Rapekshaniya. Ya Yali Bhir are gopis in this particular verse. Ya Yali Bhir Yuktir Apekshaniya. They are always thinking how to make Radha Krishna pastimes and reach to the perfection of taste in the forest area. In the forest area, uh, especially the pranam mantra of Radha Gopinath, it says, I'll not go into the details of it, but it is comes in Chaitanya Charitamrita, where it explains how beautifully Radha Krishna are being worshipped in the forest of Vrindavan. Nice big throne is being set up in the midst of the forest. Nice, nice air is blowing. Beautiful birds are chirping in a very beautiful melodious way. Nice lushy garden, and everybody is centering their focus on Radha Krishna. So this whole arrangement is being made by the girlfriends of Radharani, known as gopis. So Nikunja yuno rati kelisidar ya yali bhir yukti apekshaniya tatrati dakshat ativallabhasya. So now spiritual master Srila Prabhupada is expert assistant to those girlfriends of Radha Krishna. The highest level of worship is happening in the forest of Vrindavan arranged by the girlfriends of Srimati Radharani and Srila Prabhupada in this particular stanza. Any guru in this particular lineage, what we comes in the Brahma Madhva Sampradaya, they are expert assistant to them. Tatrati dakshat. Daksha means expert. Tatrati dakshat ati vallabhasya. And it gives highest amount of pleasure to Radha Krishna. So in that sense, Srila Prabhupada is no ordinary person. And once somebody asks from Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada, who are you in the spiritual world? Prabhupada says, if I tell you, you will faint. You will faint if I reveal my position in the spiritual world. And this verse reveals what great position Srila Prabhupada has in the spiritual world. So that's what it says. So he's always actively thinking how to make Radha Krishna pastimes more and more relishable. And that's why he even come to this material world for recruiting the right candidate for Radha Krishna pastimes. And that is service starts by our purification. So in that sense, Srila Prabhupada has a vested interest in purifying us so that he can take us to the spiritual world, and he can also engage us in Radha Krishna's service. So we'll quickly move to the next one. Sakshadharitvena samasta shastre ruktastatha bhavyata eva sadbhi kintu prabhorya priya eva tasya vande guru shri charanarvindam. So now he's so close to Krishna. He's always in the intimate association of Radha and Krishna. So he acquired the qualities of Krishna himself. It says Sakshat Haritva. Sakshat Haritvena Samasta Shastra. All the Shastras, all the Vedic literatures are shouting. What are they shouting? That Guru is as good as God. Guru is not God, but because of his intimate association with Krishna, he acquires the quality of a God for his disciples at least. When we follow his instructions, so Srila Prabhupada can act all empowering in an all empowering way by releasing us from this material conditioning. So, Sakshat Haritvena Samasta Shastre Uktas means said, Uktas Tatha Bhavyata Eva Sadbhi. All saintly people have concluded that the spiritual master is as good as God. Sakshat Haritvena Samasta Shastre Uktas Tatha Bhavyata Eva Sadbhi. The next line it clarifies, does he really become God? Kintu Prabhor Priya Eva Tasya. Because he is very, very dear to Krishna. Kintu Prabhor Yaha Priya Eva Tasya. He is extremely dear to Krishna. He is extremely dear to Radharani. He is extremely dear to the close, most confidential associate of Krishna. So whatever Prabhupada does, it is guided for the pleasure of Krishna. And whatever Srila Prabhupada does, has a blessing of Krishna to make it successful. So in a way, he's not God, but he can act as God for his disciples because he's empowered by Krishna. Like a government official, like for example, a lot of deportation is happening in from the United States, and there's a strict stringent rules, especially in the immigration control border police. So now, immigration officer can say you're deported, means you're deported. Nobody can save you. He has a power of government, although he's not he's not government by himself, but because he has the power of government, he can act on behalf of government. He's as good as government for you. So if you respect him, means you're respecting government. Similarly, for us, Srila Prabhupada is as good as Krishna because he's bringing the most confidential message of Krishna, and he's taking us to most close to Krishna in that sense. So we'll move to the next verse, the last verse. Yasya prasadad bhagavat prasado, Yasya prasadan nagati kutopi, dhyayanstuvam tasya yashastri sandhyam, Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam. So this is a foundational verse for all disciple of Srila Prabhupada. Yasya prasadat bhagavat prasado. When we receive the blessings of Srila Prabhupada, we receive Krishna's blessings. Yasya means whose glorification we have been doing in the previous seven verses. Yasya prasadat, by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, bhagavat prasado, we receive Krishna's blessings. Okay, I don't want Prabhupada's blessings. I'll take Krishna's blessing directly. It's more. Because Prabhupada will give me small blessing, Krishna will give me more blessing. Let me take it directly from Krishna. It says, Yasya aprasadan nagati kutopi. If you don't get blessings from Srila Prabhupada, you will go nowhere. Yasya aprasadam. If you don't take Prabhupada blessings, nagati kutopi, you will not go anywhere. You will not be able to stand anywhere in the spiritual life. यस्य प्रसादात् भगवत प्रसादो यस्य प्रसादा नगत्योपि ध्यायान स्तुवाम यस्य यशस्त्रि संध्यam. Let me at least meditate on this particular verse, on these particular stanzas, how much I have been made out of Krishna's mercy, Prabhupada's mercy. My spiritual life is made out of Prabhupada's mercy by giving us prasadam, by giving us holy name, by giving us devotees association, by giving us deity worship. When we always in that grateful mood, at least 3 times a day, then that's an instruction which is become the foundation of our spiritual development. I would just conclude here with this, and I know I couldn't really do justice to these wonderful prayers, but I just tried whatever best I could in my own humble ways. So thank you very much for all of you for giving me your presence, your intense presence, and I'm so grateful, and thank you very much. Hare Krishna. So I'm just opening it for the any any discussion, any comments, any realizations, any questions at this point of time.
Thank you, Nitya Gopal Prabhu. Your words went deep for me. I just see there's some chat. Bhakti Valerie wrote, thank you for the short amount of time I joined in this morning. My pearls are the extent that we decorate the deities. Krishna decorates our heart. And when we clean the temple, we clean our heart. Thank you so much, Nitya Gopal Prabhu. And Nidhi Bandari wrote, beautifully explained. Each and every words are like pearls. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Yeah, thank you, Nichigo Babu. I really appreciate how you unpacked these 8 stanzas by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur and closely connected them with the first text of Sri Shikshastaka Cheto Darpana Marjanam. This is very moving. This is transformational for me, and that because every day I sing the Gurvastakam, and your class will help me to for it to not be mechanical, or to not be mechanical, and starting with the first word, samsara, and the forest fire. So it moves me to enter into the meaning and the essence. So this is practically helpful for my spiritual life. And thanks for invoking Srila Prabhupada and moving me to deeper appreciation for the matchless gift that Srila Prabhupada is giving.
Thank you very much, Guru, for. I know you have been chanting these prayers for the last 40 years now, so it's your humility that you're sharing that there is some transformation happened from this discussion, but I really appreciate that and we'll take it. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, for more than 40 years, and I've never heard anyone go threadbare in a class like you did. So this just brings me to fresh realization about this song. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
So I think that's my takeaway to always remind myself of the opulence I have had of a spiritual life, a matchless gift as you shared. That itself can be the sufficient amount of inspiration for me to go ahead and to have it more and more and a much more deeper level. Thank you. So we will conclude here. So we shall.
Okay, yeah, Jai, thank you. Srila Prabhupada ki. Shri Shiksas, Shri Gurvastakam ki.
Jai.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Nitya Gopal Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.